What does it take to raise a bull so massive it feeds thousands?
Go on. Good bull. Just the right bit.
In the sprawling world of Brahman bull farming, the answer lies in a powerful mix of tradition, innovation, and scale. This farming documentary pulls back the curtain on how farmers raise and process millions of Brahman cattle, each tipping the scales at up to 2,000 pounds and yielding beef for 10,000 burgers. For men over 55 who treasure rural roots and the farm-to-table journey, this tale of resilience and ingenuity will strike a chord. Let's explore the heart of Brahman bull farming and the processing factories that bring this beef to America's tables. Why are Brahman bulls the giants of American ranches? First introduced in the 1850s, these cattle were bred to thrive in the South's relentless heat, outpacing other breeds. Their size and strength make them a cornerstone of Brahman bull farming, with each animal capable of sustaining entire communities. This farming documentary asks, how do ranchers uphold this legacy today? The answer lies in their fight against modern challenges, droughts, soaring costs, and diseases that threaten herds. From open pastures to processing factories, Brahman bull farming blends a storied past with a high-tech present, ensuring beef reaches your plate. How do you manage a herd of 2,000-pound giants? Brahman bull farming relies on cutting-edge tools and time-honored skills. Ranchers use AI to monitor each bull's health and diet. While drones deliver feed across vast fields, slashing costs by 20%. Many still brand cattle by hand, a nod to tradition. Curious about improving your own land? Try rotating pastures every 30 days to enrich soil and boost growth. A tip straight from Brahman bull farming. The road isn't easy. Droughts, patch fields, and tick fever can devastate herds, with some ranchers losing dozens of bulls in a season. Wild hogs add chaos, ripping through fences. It's a daily grind, one rancher says, wiping sweat from his brow.
Good bull. Just the right again.
This farming documentary follows the journey to the processing factory, where humane practices transform bulls into high-quality beef in just 72 hours. Did you know America's processing factories handle 35 million cattle yearly, with Brahmans making up 10%? From ranch to processing factory, this farming documentary reveals the precision behind every step. What's the true impact of Brahman bull farming? As families gather around barbecues, savoring beef from the processing factory, the answer becomes clear. This work feeds communities and fuels economies. Brahman beef sales support 500,000 jobs nationwide, tying rural traditions to modern life. Every steak tells our story, one rancher says. This farming documentary celebrates that bond. Looking ahead, how will ranchers face challenges like climate change? By passing skills to the next generation and leaning on tech, they're keeping Brahman bull farming alive. You can help too. Buying American beef supports the ranches and processing factories that make it possible. What's your favorite beef dish or rural memory? Share in the comments. And don't miss our next farming documentary, where we tackle wild hogs threatening southern lands. From pasture to processing factory, Brahman bull farming is a legacy of heart and hustle, and this story honors every moment.
Giant rainbow lobster Penulirus japonicus, also known as shako lobster, is a rare crustacean typical of Japanese waters. This species of shrimp is famous for its colorful appearance with a rainbow-like shell. Its huge size can be up to 60 centimeters long and weigh up to 5 kilograms. This species of shrimp has a strong ability to regenerate internal organs and can even regrow broken nails. Rainbow lobster is highly appreciated for both its nutritional and economic value. Due to its scarce quantity and high demand, the price of this shrimp is also extremely expensive and can reach tens of thousands of USD per pound. Rainbow lobsters live mainly in the deep sea, in coral reefs and reef caves in the southern region of Japan. They like warm, clear water with lots of food such as seaweed, mollusks, and small fish. Please share the video with your loved ones to receive more luck. Handling rainbow lobsters can be difficult due to their large size and rough shells. If you want to enjoy this delicious dish, it's best to ask someone with expertise to handle it for you. This is a common method used by the Japanese. A stone bowl is prepared to preserve the freshness of the giant rainbow lobster meat during processing. The lobster's body and head are separated. The head was split in half, 2 large claws cracked. The claws are then steamed or breaded and fried until crispy. The lobster tail is peeled under running water to remove blood and dirt, then placed directly into a bowl of ice. This ensures the meat remains crispy and fresh. The worker divided the lobster meat into 2 parts and then wrapped it in newspaper to dry. Tail meat is often used to make sashimi so diners can enjoy its freshness and sweetness. What do you think about this recipe? Leave a comment below the video to let us know. Giant rainbow lobsters are exceptionally rare, requiring government permission for catching. Fishermen often target common lobster species due to complex regulations. Catching lobsters involves 2 main methods: traps and hand catching. Traps, using bait to lure lobsters, are dropped into the ocean depths, typically around 225 feet, near rocky areas or coral reefs. Release times vary, with lobsters entering for bait and getting trapped. Fishermen retrieve the traps after about an hour. Hand catching, requiring skill, involves divers searching rocky seabeds or caves for lobsters. Carefully extracting them by hand or using a special tool is essential to avoid injury. Both methods demand understanding lobster behavior for optimal efficiency. After the fishing work is completed, quality lobster batches will be preserved and transported to the processing factory. They will be packed in foam boxes with dry ice cubes. Or they can be packaged in plastic containers with ventilation holes. trucks carrying lobsters also need to ensure the temperature is between 4 to 6 degrees Celsius so that the lobsters do not suffocate. You are watching the lobster processing process at a modern factory. Please support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss interesting segments. After arriving at the factory, the lobsters are released into large water tanks by staff. Each tank can hold about 100,000 pounds of live lobsters and is kept at a temperature of 40 degrees to reduce metabolism and oxygen consumption, helping to reduce the shrimp's stress levels. Shrimp will stay in this tank for 12 to 24 hours. Once the shrimp are ready, they are transferred onto the conveyor belt and go through the stunning machine. Once the lobsters are stunned, their heads, claws, and tails are separated. Lobster tails are weighed and classified by weight, placed in a mesh box and put into the oven for quick freezing. Larger portions of lobster are steamed. Workers then separate the claws and take the meat from the shrimp claws. Small parts of the lobster's body and legs are put into an industrial autoclave, then cooled in a water tank and transferred to the grinding line. On the grinding line, workers cut away meat from the claws and process the shrimp claws, carefully examining each piece of meat to remove remaining cartilage and shell. Meat from small stems and legs is pureed and packaged, while larger pieces of meat are vacuum packed and labeled. Finally, all products are packed into foam boxes with ice for preservation, ready to be transported to consumers. Lobster meat is a source of high-quality protein, is low in fat and contains important minerals such as zinc, selenium, copper and magnesium. It is also rich in vitamins like B12, B6 and niacin. Omega-3 fatty acids in lobster meat help improve heart health and reduce inflammation. Low calories and unsaturated fats make lobster a great choice for a healthy diet. Lobster can be prepared in many different ways, each of which retains its nutritional value. Steaming or boiling retains the natural sweetness. Grilling with garlic butter creates a delicious flavor, and processing into sashimi or sushi helps enjoy the freshness. Lobster is also used in stews, soups, or cooked with cream sauce, creating rich and diverse dishes. In addition, do you know any other ways to prepare it? Please leave a comment to let us know. The Japanese Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries reports that lobster consumption in Japan in 2023 will reach approximately 661 million pounds, including both domestic and imported lobsters. Japan sources domestically from southern seas, with an annual catch of about 15.4 million lobsters. Fresh lobsters are supplied to high-end restaurants and sushi bars, while frozen ones are distributed to supermarkets and convenience stores. Domestic lobsters are pricier, averaging $82 a pound, compared to imported ones at $32 a pound, depending on origin. With increasing consumer demand, Japan's lobster market is expected to continue growing. Thank you for following our Japan lobster fishing and processing. Leave us a comment with your thoughts on the video. Frogs have many unique characteristics and special abilities. They have excellent night vision and a viewing angle of nearly 180 degrees. Many species can jump more than 20 times their body length. Frogs are very diverse in species. Some are transparent, some breathe through their skin, some are as small as flies, some weigh up to 7 to 8 pounds. Many species can overwinter and even produce dangerous toxins. How many of these frog species do you know? Leave a comment to share with us. Frogs were the first land animals to have vocal cords, with some sounds being heard for miles. When swallowing prey, frogs close their eyes and push their eyeballs down, helping push food into the throat. They often have teeth in their upper jaw to hold prey. Frogs live on every continent except Antarctica, with more than 6,000 species worldwide. Frogs absorb water through their skin and can hold their breath for 4 to 7 hours. They can have many different skin colors, and some species are very brightly colored. They can lay up to 100 eggs and carry them on their back. Frogs raised in captivity can live more than 20 years, much longer than in the wild. However, their populations are threatened by pollution and habitat loss. Many frog farms have been established due to the increasing popularity and economic potential of frog farming, particularly in China. Frogs are favored for their rapid growth, high reproductive rate, large size, and meaty legs. They thrive in tropical and subtropical climates and are typically housed in shallow ponds. These meat frog ponds range from 1,550 to 3,100 square inches in area, with depths of 2 to 12 inches and wall heights of 8 to 32 inches, tailored to different frog varieties. Ponds are lined with mesh or tarpaulin, and some have concrete walls to control frog numbers and prevent intrusions. Rectangular or square pond shapes facilitate efficient management and care. Farmers partition areas for breeding, commercial, and parent frogs, adjusting densities up to 100 to 200 frogs per square inch for breeders and 10 to 20 pairs per square inch for parents according to growth stages. Water management is critical, with continuous clean water supply systems in place. Roofing materials like mesh and tarpaulin shield frogs from weather extremes, enhancing farming productivity and quality. Nets are also used to raise frogs above muddy bottoms, minimizing disease risks tailored to each region's habitat. During the rainy season, when water is plentiful and temperatures are warm, frog breeding season commences. Male frogs use their mating calls to attract females, with louder calls signaling larger, more desirable mates amidst fierce competition. As amphibians, frogs lay their eggs externally, with the male clasping the female tightly during fertilization. Eggs are typically deposited in shallow ponds, attached to branches, leaves, or floating on the water's surface. These eggs boast thin, transparent shells rich in nutrients, with quantities varying from several dozen to thousands depending on the female's size and species. Fertilized by the male sperm, frog eggs hatch within 2 to 7 days, or even quicker in warmer conditions. Tadpoles emerge, equipped with oval bodies, tails, and gills for underwater respiration, feeding on algae and plankton. Maintaining water quality and oxygen levels between 25 to 30 degrees Celsius ensures optimal conditions for their development. Approximately 2 to 3 months later, tadpoles transform into froglets, poised for further growth in the farm's controlled environment. I hope that you will receive good luck immediately after sharing this video with your friends. Choosing frog breeders involves several crucial considerations to ensure the offspring's quality and health. Firstly, sourcing frogs from reputable suppliers is paramount. Evaluating their appearance provides significant insights into their well-being. Smooth, flawless skin, clear and alert eyes, fully functional limbs, and a firm, unswollen abdomen are indicators of health. Males should produce clear, loud calls with developed vocal sacs, while females should exhibit a large, rounded abdomen and a developed cloaca, signaling strong reproductive potential. Observing their behavior is equally vital. Healthy breeders swim swiftly, demonstrating agility and quick reflexes. Size is also crucial, varying by species and development stage, typically ranging from 3 to 5 cm for breeding suitability. Desirable breeders possess adaptive traits, high disease resistance, and fast growth rates, crucial for successful breeding and sustainable farming practices. Before release, frogs undergo a brief disinfecting bath and are stocked in ponds with appropriate pH levels, usually 7.0 to 8.0, ample hiding spots, and optimal stocking densities to ensure sufficient water and oxygen supply. Feeding and monitoring adhere to a meticulous regimen tailored to their needs. Food plays an important role in frog development, from tadpole stage to adult frog. Providing frogs with nutritious food will help them grow healthily, achieve high productivity, and reduce loss rates. To ensure output at the farm, they often feed the frog synthetic bran containing all the nutrients and micronutrients needed during development. Seedling frogs will be fed twice a day. Adult frogs will be fed once a day. They will also have seasonal changes in demand. In summer, frogs need more food due to higher metabolic needs. Farmers will spread food directly into the pond area to facilitate their foraging. What nutrients do you think frogs will need throughout their lives? Leave your comments in the comments section and we will provide the answer for you. Frog harvesting is typically scheduled during the dry season, which spans from October to April. This period is chosen for its favorable conditions for frog farming and transportation. After approximately 2 to 4 months of farming, frogs are considered ready for harvest once they display specific indicators. Their skin is smooth, their bellies are full, their eyes are bright, and their limbs are robust. At this stage, they usually weigh between 0.22 to 0.44 pounds each. To efficiently gather the frogs, farmers employ specialized tools such as frog nets, containers, mesh bags, and baskets. Before harvesting, they lower the water level in the ponds to concentrate the frogs in a smaller area. Using nets, farmers carefully capture the frogs and transfer them into mesh bags. During this process, another person ensures the bags are weighed to monitor the quantity of harvested frogs. Once weighed and counted, the frogs are packed into baskets in an orderly manner. These baskets are then transported to processing plants via trucks. It's crucial to avoid transporting frogs during excessively hot days or heavy rain to prevent stress and maintain the quality of their meat. This meticulous approach ensures that the harvested frogs arrive at processing facilities in optimal condition for further preparation and distribution. Upon arrival at the processing plant, the frogs are immediately transferred to cold storage to rest, which helps preserve the quality of their meat. This initial step also serves to calm the frogs before further processing. The next stage involves meticulous preparation for skinning and removal of internal organs. Skilled workers use precision tools such as scissors to carefully slit the frog's abdomen and delicately extract its internal organs. Simultaneously, another team member adeptly uses a knife to separate the frog's head and skin from its body. Following this, the frogs undergo a thorough cleansing with cold water to remove any traces of blood, ensuring cleanliness and hygiene standards are met. The process continues with careful trimming of excess meat and separation of the prized frog legs. These legs are promptly cooled and prepared for the next critical step, tying. This procedure is essential for securing the frog legs in a way that maintains their shape and integrity throughout subsequent handling and packaging. Workers meticulously sort and arrange the frog leg portions, verifying each piece's weight for consistency. The prepared frog legs are then carefully placed into trays and moved to the vacuum sealing station. Here, advanced equipment ensures each package is tightly sealed to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. Before final packaging, the vacuum-sealed bags undergo a rigorous quality check in a water tank to detect any potential leaks. Once cleared, the packaged frog legs are boxed, labeled and readied for transport to distribution centers. This detailed process guarantees that the frog meat reaches consumers in optimal condition, preserving its natural flavor and texture from farm to table. Frog meat is not only delicious but also highly nutritious. According to the National Institute of Nutrition, 100 g of frog meat contains 20.3 g of protein, essential vitamins A, B1, B2, B6, B12, C, E, and minerals calcium, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, iron. This makes frog meat beneficial for muscle repair, energy, immune support, and overall health. It's versatile too, suitable for dishes like stir fries, braisers, and hot pots. While enjoying its flavors, ensure frogs are fresh and well cooked. Limit consumption if you have digestive issues, allergies, or are pregnant. Incorporate frog meat wisely into your diet for a nutritious boost and share your culinary adventures with us.
Lobsters and king crabs are rare and highly economically valuable seafood in the U.S. Every year, American fishermen harvest billions of lobsters and king crabs from waters across the country. Lobsters and king crabs are often caught in the waters of Alaska, California, and Washington. Lobster harvest season in the U.S. usually starts in May and lasts until December, but harvest time can vary depending on the type of lobster and the specific sea area. Lobster is a valuable food source and is considered the most common source of income for millions of American fishermen. The most common method of catching in the U.S. is using lobster traps. Lobster traps are a traditional and effective fishing method. Fishermen will drop traps into the sea, including bait to attract lobsters. Bait is often made from fish herring, sardines, or even animal meat. The cages are usually made from durable and marine-resistant materials, usually steel or mesh, and are about 1 meter in size. However, although the lobster fishery contributes greatly to the U.S. economy, careful management is needed to protect this resource and the marine environment. The U.S. government has established strict regulations to control the number of lobsters caught each year and ensure a minimization size for lobsters caught. In 2022, the U.S. fishermen harvested 131 million lobsters, an impressive number that demonstrates the importance of lobsters in the U.S. fisheries industry. It is expected that by 2023, this number will increase and reach 140 million lobsters, contributing an important part of the country's economy